Greetings, watchers of the multiverse. Welcome to the Truthful Truth, the show that brings the truth to you about the world you see. I did the intro wrong, but we're just rolling with it. We have an extraordinary show for you today, for we have Harvey Lane. How you doing, Harvey?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Where am I?
Wait.
How did I get?
The Truthful Truth. Wait. Okay, camera's on you now. The Truthful Truth.
Okay, so where am I? How did I get here?
The Truthful Truth, and I brought you here.
Where exactly is that? Like, is it... Have you taken me to another universe?
No, not technically.
So we're still
Welcome to the edge of everything. I'm Truth, you're Harvey.
Okay. No.
You're here to answer questions for my talk show. To the Watchers of the Multiverse. Love you.
So, who are these watchers? And how do they know? How are they viewing this?
They view the story from beyond our comprehension.
I'm sorry, which story?
The story. The vast design. Canon.
That sounds interesting. Tell me more.
No.
No.
This is asking you questions. Thank you, opinions.
Who's that?
That's opinion.
Fuck you, Truth.
Fuck you, Justice.
I believe.
Leave, please. Love you.
Who are these two?
You technically don't see them, they're on camera. So, you're here to answer questions, right? So that they can learn more about you.
Why would I tell them that?
Because you're important to the story.
No, but why would I answer these questions?
Because you're compelled to and you can't leave until you're done. You can't move either. Don't worry, you won't remember any of this.
Can I argue that?
Others have?
Please?
No.
Alright. Could I make a post on my conspiracy?
You don't have your phone with you.
Could I write one down to post later?
What? I met Truth?
No, that there is a talk show that speaks to people beyond reality. And that talk show can pull in anyone it wishes. And forcefully extract the truth from them.
The best part is that would be a perfect post for that app. And no one would believe it. And neither would Harvey. He would be like, this is a genius troll. Very well. You may do that. I allow it.
Alright, what are your questions?
Harvey. What is your biggest regret? Starting off heavy.
That's difficult. It's hard to say.
Is it?
It's not hard to think of, it's hard to say.
Very well.
I didn't...
We'll get back to that.
Okay.
Let's just go better for an easy one. Who is someone you admire? And why?
Well... Isaiah is... not... He has a lot of, problems, but he has a unique way of getting directly to the point.
This is true. He's quite good.
Yes.
Who is someone you despise? Why?
I'm not quite sure despise is the correct word, but...
Oh, it is.
It's frustrating how Myers blames me for everything.
Ah.
No matter what I do, I saved him. I stopped him from what Seamus had to go through. And
He doesn't even seem to understand. You did so much.
and then we stopped Abyss. We dealt with that. We dealt with the heretic. And he blocked me. I have been nothing but helpful to him. And
I understand the feeling. What are you willing to sacrifice for knowledge?
Honestly, it depends on the knowledge. And
The most important. What are you willing to sacrifice for the knowledge that will help you most?
I don't know. Because anything that I'd be willing to sacrifice is something that knowledge would be meant to protect. It's I mean, I gave up my power once, I could do that again.
Speaking of which, why did you give up your connection to the Nexus? And do you regret it?
Sometimes. I got that power because I made a deal. I promised the director, Seamus, that I would get him the pieces of the time machine that he wanted, and like to help him go back further than he was currently capable of. And that's how I got that power. He gave that to me. He gave that power to me in exchange for those time machine parts in advance. He paid me in advance. And while I was under the effect of the darknesses, I guess it removed all the darkness from me at the time. Everything
Feeling of
selfish.
pure peace.
And it just helped me realize that I couldn't. Everything was resolved. Everything was perfect.
See,
And if I let him go back, he might mess that up.
I understand. What do you think about your new connection?
It's certainly helpful, but also it's making me rely a lot on Elias. I keep asking for things from him, and he seems like he's starting to get a little annoyed.
I would too.
And I told him that we should talk about, making it an actual exchange thing, and because it does feel bad. It doesn't feel right to just keep taking things from him.
I understand.
But it's very useful, it's helpful, and it's even making me money, this power, and it's just not as helpful in protecting people. And yeah, it feels weaker.
I think I understand. Do you really trust Necro?
I trust him to protect Becca.
And anything else?
I trust him as much as I would trust a normal friend. I do consider him a friend. I'm not sure if he considers us the same, but
Let's focus on
Yeah.
Necro for.
What do you know about it?
Quite a bit. I would like to know a little more. So, do you know how he took over Becca's connection?
No, I know that it was to the current version of death. And so of course their energies must be similar. So it must have been easier to adapt. Did he Will you tell me how he did this?
No,
No.
I can't.
Can I give you a theory then?
Of course.
I don't know quite how connections work. Specifically how they connect to the people power. But what if he... Let's consider connection to be like a cable. So if you disconnect the cable from where it's plugged into, it still has a certain type of connection it goes into, right? This type of plug-in. And if you don't have the proper receptor for that plug-in, you would need to fix it, right? Well, it's possible that Necro was close enough to that he was able to just plug it right in. He just broke it off and attached it to himself.
It's
that
an
close?
interesting theory. I'm not exactly sure. There's some things even truth doesn't know.
Oh. How far does truth? How far does it go?
All of existence. And a little outside.
There's an outside?
Beyond.
Where the viewers are.
Oh no, the viewers are beyond that. They're truly outside.
How big is this web?
It stretches across everything and more. Now, one last question. Sort of a mix. Do you feel guilty for what you did to Seamus? And everything that happened to him?
Let's go back to my biggest regret. That right there. It's hard to admit that it was still my fault. I didn't want it to happen to him. And I admit that in my heart I chose, well, my head, I guess more accurately, I wanted to save Myers more because he was more useful.
But now, would you do anything differently?
I don't know. It seems like Myers is destined to be my enemy no matter what I choose. But I don't know. I don't think I would change anything because it worked out all right. And the only person who has to suffer the consequences now is me. So
Ironic.
You're right.
What are you willing to do to fix it?
There's nothing I can do. I
You
mean,
can't reverse it, of course. There must be something we've thought of.
I don't know.
Very well. Do we have any more questions?
If I could do something, I would.
Maybe someday you will. That is all the time we have for today. I have no more questions. Thank you for joining us, Harvey. I hope you enjoyed being on our show.
I suppose I
Maybe we shall see you again. Thank you for watching this Truthful Truth. Have a good day.